Main event, finally. Swerve Strickland and Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Swerve loves these pay-per-view entrances with themes. Tonight he had a theme based off of the DC Comics character Static Shock. So that's where his influence came from for his choice of ring attire. Jon Moxley got his entrance, and he was very animated walking through the crowd with Marina Shafir. We got the official announcements, and the bell rang. I even tweeted out, the bell didn't ring until about 11:52 Eastern Time, PM. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Unless the match is going 8 minutes, or the match is going for another fucking half an hour. Couldn't believe what we were getting. So the match started with a headlock. And we got a headlock into a test of strength. So, Jesse, I want to start there. You know, we talk about the comical nature of the Death Rider story and how it's killing AEW television. They just cut a promo on Dynamite about how Swerve Strickland is the most dangerous man in AEW. He was bounced off shards of glass on Dynamite on the Go Home show. And then they start the fucking match off with a side headlock and a test of strength. What are we doing here?
Bro, you know what's messed up when commentary called Taz called this out. Taz was like, all right, I didn't expect these two to start off with a, grappling. What the hell is going on here? Bro, your commentary team can't help but point out the obvious. Why are they these guys are supposed to be in a blood fucking feud. And they're just grappling. And it started out so slow. This was another huge problem of the pay-per-view, and I said this on my live stream. The pacing needs to be addressed. If you're coming off a triple threat match like that went overtime and ended on that kind of height, in our next match, the main event, headlock. Bro, the crowd does not want to see a headlock right now. I understand that if you have a long match to pace out, coming from what you just saw, you need to keep that same energy. And if you need to bring them back down in the middle of your match and then build back up to your crescendo at the end, then that might be the better way to go. But to give us Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey and Kenny Omega to the level of what they did, and then you give us the main event, headlock, you just killed the momentum of a live crowd who's been there 5 fucking hours and they're ready to go home.
We'll pick it up towards the end here because I cannot bear to even talk about this. I was legitimately, and Swerve, I've been on record saying, and Jesse's a big fan of Swerve too. I've been on record saying Swerve is the best big match wrestler that they got, or at least one of them. And he made this feel. This was a lot better than Copeland. I'll tell you that right now. But it all falls back on Jon Moxley. I blame nothing on Swerve Strickland. He did everything possible to make this as good as it could be. It's all Jon Moxley. It is all him, and he is absolutely a complete, he's just, whatever the right word, cancerous to this main event scene. He is just an absolute negative in everything that he does. He brings everything that is surrounding him and everything that he's in down. So we'll pick it up towards the end here. Moxley turned him inside out with a lariat. Swerve no-sold it, comes back with a house call kick, and they're both double down. This is when Marina Shafir gets into the fray. She comes into the ring with the briefcase and teased it using the briefcase on Swerve. Referee Paul Turner's in there. He's got his hands in the air. I'm like, all right, get this woman out of the ring. You know exactly what's coming because none of these Jon Moxley matches end in fucking calm. They all end up in interference. Nana gets in the ring. He gets in Marina Shafir's face. She took him out with the briefcase and booted him out to the floor. Comically, she's standing around in the ring. She's still in the ring with the briefcase. Swerve is there. He grabbed Marina. Moxley went for a cutter on Swerve. He moved out of the way, and he accidentally delivered the cutter to Marina Shafir. So after that, Strickland gets up. He dropped Moxley with his own move. He had a paradigm shift. Took too long to go to the top, and he was launched out to the floor. Moxley brought out a ladder and set it up at ringside. I'm like, all right, this was a regular one-on-one match that degenerated into a no DQ match, and nothing was explained to us. This got comical the more it went on. The ladder is out there. We got steel steps. We got a ladder, and they're overlooking the Spanish commentary table. Paul Turner's out there, Jesse. Swerve is on the outside. He's fighting out. They're on this ladder. Strickland's raking his back. He bit the head of John Moxley. Paul Turner's out there, bro. I don't know what happened to you. I guess it's referee's discretion. We want to use that excuse. Literally not making it 10 count. You would think that, bro, this was a disqualification times 1,000 out there.
I was speechless.
I'm waiting for the count. I'm waiting. We don't see the count.
Like, when did this turn into a no DQ match? When? Bro, it was like 47 people in the ring at one point. I know there was a ref bump and all this other shit. It's another thing too. Earlier in the pay-per-view, Ricochet inadvertently hit the referee with like a knee clip.
Yep.
Like legit hit Rick Knox, hit him.
Yep.
But it wasn't supposed to happen though. All right. But the camera caught Ricochet straight hit Rick Knox. Rick Knox no-sold it, got his ass up, jumped up, got back right in the ring.
Yep.
Any other time you touch the ref, they fucking explode into fucking oblivion.
This was a DQ and a count out times 1,000 here. I don't know. The AEW referees, the company itself makes their entire referee entourage look like the biggest clowns in the entire wrestling industry. It's awful. So
this is I'm sorry, but this is the main event. Now, you've had plenty of time to tell us this was gonna be a no DQ match. You didn't. But if this was the match you had planned out, someone should have turned and said, guys, this is not a no DQ match. We need to make it one. Just make it one. How? So, just make it one. Mox is the fucking world champion, does what he fucking wants. I don't care. Figure something out. But just make it a no DQ match so you're not insulting everyone's fucking intelligence. WWE did it with Vince McMahon. If you remember Rock and Austin at WrestleMania? They made it a no DQ match at the last second, the 0 hour. Remember that shit?
Yep.
Rock and Austin. It was supposed to be a straight up match. Right before the match, they decided to make it no DQ match.
Or even Cody and Roman at WrestleMania last year. It's Bloodline rules. I mean, make sense of it.
Just make sense of it. Just. Hey, shit, the shit we got planned out, this will not float in a regular standard-ass match. We got to protect the fuck. Make it a no DQ. DQ. Management has decided that because of have a fight break out between these two. Backstage. Break it up and say, fuck this shit. Get this shit out of your system. No DQ tonight. Go. Something. Because we're all just sitting around like, what's the ref doing? Why is the ref letting this go? How is this allowed? How come nobody's fixing this? Simple. Make it a no DQ match because what you gave us is insulting.
So after Swerve rakes the back, they're both on the ladder. He bites Moxley in the face. Swerve stomp off the ladder down through the Spanish commentary table. These hardwood, made of oak tables finally, for the first time, I believe, broke as Swerve stomp through the table on Moxley. I thought Swerve injured himself because he pulled up lame with his knee. They showed the replay 3 times. It didn't look like anything bad, but he grabbed Paul Turner by the shirt, and I thought he ended up really hurt here. Thank God he's not. So after the Swerve stomp through the table, Moxley and him get back into the ring, and we get a slugfest. It's like, all right, you deliver a Swerve stomp through the table. All right, here you go. Here's another slugfest. Moxley went at the leg. Shafir gets back in there. She throws a chair as Moxley chucked it at Swerve, who ducked, and he hits Paul Turner, who got nailed with the chair, and now this opens up for bullshit. Strickland connected with a vertebreaker. Adam Page power walks to the ring. He gets up on the ring apron. Referee is down. Swerve is there. Moxley's there. He takes time deciding on who he wants to hit with the buckshot. He looks at Moxley. He looks at Swerve. All of a sudden, the Death Riders show up and attack Page, who Yuta got taken out. Claudio got taken out. Pac got taken out. Page dropped Moxley with the Deadeye before the Ops, Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook run out and brawled with the Death Riders. They're looking like it's going to be that trios match for All In, for the trios championships. I can see that being the case. Strickland takes the chair, threw it at Moxley's face before going up top. He took forever to hit the swerve stomp. The knee badly gave out. He goes to make a cover. There's no ref. Lights go out. And when they came back on, the Young Cucks were in the ring, holding Strickland by the arms, and they nailed Strickland with the BTE trigger. Moxley crawled over, made the cover, and got the pin because, lo and behold, Paul Turner was automatically revived at that point. Bucks left through the crowd. Moxley recovered with Shafir. Strickland was staring down the Bucks, while Page was staring down Strickland to end the show, and they quickly got the fuck off the air. I want to read this, Jesse, because this was asked at the post-show media scrum tonight, which seemingly ended in about 25 minutes because they knew that this show was a complete dog pile of garbage. Tony Khan was asked about fan criticism and fan feedback. He says this in regards to listening to his fan base. Absolutely, I take fan consideration into consideration. We had a lot of great moments for the fans tonight. Really, a lot of great moments. What were they? Swerve was there, and he's more popular right now. You had two great AEW World Champions having this match, and the return of the Young Bucks spoiled what was a great World Championship match on a night where there were a lot of fan favorite moments. That was obviously not necessarily the outcome that a lot of people were hoping for. But on the other hand, I do think that Jon Moxley has been from the very beginning one of AEW's most important figures from the very first pay-per-view that we ever did. It's very interesting now. This creates a lot of intrigue to have the Young Bucks come back. It's important to remember we have not seen the Young Bucks in almost 6 months in AEW. From the very beginning, they have been instrumental in the launch. They are founding fathers. To see them come back this way and get involved and break up what could have been a great moment for the fans. That is consistent with the kind of character we've seen from the Young Bucks in recent years. I would say it creates an intriguing situation. Certainly the fans are behind Swerve. They are every bit as behind him today after the event as they have been at any point. I don't think the Young Bucks' involvement in screwing him changes that. Tonight it creates an intrigue. This is the fucking, how many times? An intriguing situation, he says. I am very aware the fans love Swerve and he's one of our most popular stars. Jon Moxley you could argue, not just his history, but recently has done great things for the company. End quote. It creates an intriguing situation. We haven't seen the Young Bucks in 6 months. Tony, I don't think you really know what the fuck you're doing, and you know your own storylines, bro. The last time we saw the Young Bucks, Jesse, they were ripping up papers, and they were chased out of the venue by the Death Riders, were the Young Bucks, who wanted to fucking beat the shit out of them and Brandon Cutler, who the last time we saw him was in that moment. They chased him out of the arena, and they were never to be seen again. Come to tonight, now they're helping the Death Riders. And like you said in the beginning of the show, there is absolutely no fucking way you could take the Young Bucks who pile drove Tony Khan in the middle of a ring at Daly's place to drop that storyline, to then have them be chased off by the Death Riders who want to take AEW and mold it in their own image, their company, by the way, which Tony says they're the founding fathers of, to then help them after they're killing your company from within. How the fuck does this make any sense? They had one job to do. That was to take the belt off Moxley, put it on Swerve for the next 3 months, get him to All In, have Adam Page win the Owen, have them main event All In like they should have did last year, and give us a conclusion that we should have seen last year with the Cowboy in Texas winning the World Championship. Yet we got the Young Cucks again back on television and ruining the storyline. Bro, we got another 3 months guaranteed of the Death Riders on AEW television, bro. But Tony Khan takes fan consideration into play, and he thinks he listens to his fan base.
You know, I don't like to take away from what guys like Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho have done for AEW, because I think it gets overlooked because of their current run. Both of them. And Jericho has put his name out there and his image out there at a time when his company had just started and they had no one. He was the biggest name they had. Jon Moxley has been Mr. Reliable and Mr. Consistent for AEW when they needed it at that time. But I feel like we're at a stage now where they are chipping away and killing all of that goodwill slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
I mean, I appreciate what they have done for this industry. This industry, those two guys. I really do. I just want them to stop making us forget about that and having everyone focus on what they're currently doing, which not too many people are enjoying right now, to be very polite about it.
No, this was one of the worst endings in the history of the company. Absolutely tone deaf isn't even the statement. It is beyond that. Tony doesn't listen to the fans. Nobody in AEW listens to the fans. They think they're right in everything that they do. They're a bunch of bullshit artists. You are never to trust them or believe in them again. And I would not be sitting here this animated if this show was good. This show was not good. This was one of the worst pay-per-views that they've ever put on. An embarrassing display in the main event when they had one job and one job only to do, and they failed at that job. And a lot of people I'm seeing either pirated the show, streamed it for free, or whatever the case may be. I am going to sit here and tell you to continue doing that, and don't give this company a single fucking dime of your hard-earned money if this is the product that they are going to give you. That's all I can say. They lost your trust. They lost any hope of fucking turning this thing around, and they just don't fucking care. For what? Darby Allin, who might not even come back as a human being from his excursion, his expedition. For what? Will Ospreay? Is Will Ospreay being crowned the AEW champion worth the next 3 months of terrible television? It's not. He had one job, to put it on Swerve so he can be the change. He could take the company into the story that we need so desperately on this television show on a week-to-week basis. Now we are absolutely guaranteed Jon Moxley as the AEW World Champion going into All In. And if you think that is the right decision after the 7 months that we have to sit through and be tortured with, you are absolutely the reason why this product is in the shithole that it's in.